financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is financial strategy for elders during COVID. Brian Small.
And a true pleasure to be here, Ken.
Back in the office.
Back in the
Social
office.
distancing.
Yep, as best we can. Wearing a mask, not today at the moment. While we're filming, it kind of muffles the sound, but we're doing the
that's
best we
usually a
can.
good thing, though.
I don't know. Yeah, some people would say that's true, yes.
Well, we have plastic partitions as well, but as between you and me, I can see through the partition. So is there a way maybe we could cloud those up a little bit?
I'm sure we can find a way. I can get some spray paint.
Jeffrey Kirshner, how are you?
I'm great. I'm back, and it's nice to talk about law, get our new reality going right now, whatever it is, and we're all adjusting, but I think we're all going to get through this. We just have to adjust.
I agree. Pat Simasco.
Hi, guys.
All
Glad
right.
to be here.
I mean, it's nice to be in the office and seeing people. I've gotten accustomed to working at my home office, and I find it actually in some respects more productive because there's less interruptions, Brian.
It's less interruptions, but also your day extends. You can work 6 in the
That's
morning.
one of the unfortunate things.
It
The
really
day,
is, yeah.
You kind of have to really concentrate on regimenting your day. So like what I do is I set up, my goal is to work out downstairs in the basement at 5:30 and get there and end the day, turn the lights off in my study and move. But I don't adhere to it very well.
That's going to be like the law and reality, the reality part, when these businesses start realizing how efficient it is and how less expensive on the holding costs and the building costs and the rent and all that, and people can work from home. I think that's going to be a big...
There's going to be an issue for the
landlords.
For the landlords in the
yeah.
office market. There's been an issue in Metro Detroit for office space for the last 5 years anyway, and it's going to get tougher. There's no question. So today's topic is your bailiwick, Pat, because I know you do elder law. You also do financial planning.
Right. I'm a registered investment advisor, licensed insurance agent, annuity person. So I'm independent. I can do anything, go anywhere that needs to be done.
So what I've done is I've put together a bunch of specific questions that I'd like to kind of throw out to you in the context of our global discussion to see if we can get some answers.
All right, I didn't look at one of them, so let's see
so
how
there,
we do
there,
it.
there we go. Okay, I'm glad I got to the...
Let's go.
Brian has the same
You know what
response.
it is? It's like every client that comes in, they don't give you a script ahead of time. It's, hey, Pat, what do I do now?
That's true. All right, so we got difficult times. The market right now for the investor goes up 800 points, goes down 1,800 points. It's turbulent. It has recouped a lot since the low in March. So questions. One, if you're relatively young and your funds are heavily invested in mutual funds, what should you be doing now?
Well, the first question is, what the statement you made is the market went up and it recovered, but did it recover for the investor? And most likely it didn't, because people, it's called behavioral economics, and we look at more from an academic standpoint. People get scared. So when the market drops, they pulled out. So when it recovered, it didn't recover for them, it recovered for the market.
Do you think most people pulled out?
I bet you most people, guilty. Yeah,
I pulled out.
You can't not.
No, it was my understanding.
I pulled out and then I went back in, but I pulled out. I pulled out 100 and I went back in with 40.
So that's what you did. So right there
panicked.
is this again. Instead of buying low, selling high, you buy high, sell low, and you will. If you're trying to time the market, well, you'll lose every single time. So people, their risk tolerance based on how well the stock market's doing. So in January, the market was up, and everybody was all in. Man, let's go. I can handle the risk. I can do it. I can hang in there. And because they forgot what it was like in 2008, market tanked. They said, I got to get the hell out. And so when the market's going back up, they bought in. So they sold low, and then when they got the drop and they sold, and then when the market went back up, they lost the upswing. And what happened just recently? There was another big drop. So then again, they're going to get scared again and pull out again. So if you're in that mutual fund and the market drops, you have to keep in that same fund to get it to go back up. Or you should go into more of a risky investment to have more of the upswing at that time, because you're buying low at that point.
So with that in mind, there's a lot of various funds out there, and that are like 2035 retirement fund, 2040 retirement fund.
Right.
And I've been watching these funds, and they didn't seem to take as much of a loss.
Right.
But they don't seem to be catching the gain on the backside. Why is that?
Because if you look at that, it's a stock bond portfolio. They have certain conservative and more risky. So the closer you get to retirement, the more they put in the bond portfolio. So when the market's dropping, it doesn't drop as much, and when the market's going back up, it's not going back up as much either, right? So it's a weird mix that you have, but everything goes up and everything went down, right? It's going up and down. So if you're trying to pick this one thing, you got to realize it's going to be fluctuating in the market like everything.
What happened to me? What happened to me, which was I viewed the pandemic as a once in a lifetime, unprecedented problem. Watching the market fall to 15, sitting there saying, I know it'll in normal times it goes down, it goes up, but it could go down further, and that led me into that mode because of the pandemic, as opposed to it being a normal recession.
And the reality is that when that happened,
I should have bought in.
It went down further before it started to go back up. So, but you, as you said, you can't catch the rise.
Well, this is it. When you call up to liquidate your 401k, and the other guy on the other end of the phone, they're actually laughing because you're locking in your loss at that point. When you pull out and put into cash, you locked in your loss.
I've made that statement a million times.
You locked in your loss.
You also run into, and we're coming up to break, is how much can you afford to lose?
Well, that's the big question.
Where I was weighing is, at my age, what my portfolio was, and I said, I can afford to take this loss, but I can't afford to take a greater loss.
Right.
That's what led me to pull out.
Yeah.
We'll be back after the break. COVID-19 presents a fight for our personal and business financial survival. You have to make choices. Cash is critical. Do you tap your retirement, home equity line, or run up the credit cards? You need the right plan to avoid being wiped out, and you need it now. You can't rely on the government or banks. Call us. We're the experts in financial crisis. We were here for you and your business in the Great Recession, and we're here for you now. We will create a plan and get through this together. THAV GROSS will solve your problem.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
I love you too. Bye-bye. That was Jerry. Emma just said her first word.
Oh.
Jerry says hello and they'll be over soon.
Who's Jerry? Is he a friend of yours?
No. This Jerry. Our Jerry. And this is his wife and their little girl.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so we're back. So I knew I was locking in my loss, but I was locking in my loss because I said, all right, I'm 60, now I'm 66, I was 65, and I'm sitting there saying, what's left is enough within my plan that I'm okay, but if I start going down another, 20%, then all of a sudden I'm in a situation, if it doesn't come back, all of a sudden everything that I have worked for is in jeopardy, and now I got to work till 85.
Right.
So it's a hard call.
Which in this case means that you probably need to talk to Pat or somebody like Pat about.
I argued with my investor for an hour and a half on the phone. He absolutely was. I finally talked him into the rationality of what I was doing because I wasn't locking in my loss. I was giving up my gain.
Well, see, there you go. Now that's the point. That's a very good point. When you talk to your investment advisor, you got to make sure his philosophy is your philosophy. Okay, and I always ask the same question: what kind of car do you drive, Ken?
Nautilus.
A Nautilus. So if I went to 50 Nautilus car dealers, how many times would they talk about a Ford?
Never. Obviously.
Why?
They don't make any money.
Right, they don't do
selling a Ford.
So if they're trying
they
to
make
get
money selling Lincolns.
If they're only do this thing, if you're talking about this is my philosophy and I want to do this, and they don't do that, they're going to try and talk you out of or dissuade you.
Sure.
It's funny because I see the comment you're making, and it's no different than when we sit there and say, if you just go to a bankruptcy attorney, the only thing they can provide you is a bankruptcy. If you go to a financial crisis management attorney, they can solve your problem by looking at a litany of solutions.
So if you go to the financial advisor that is in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, he's going to put you in some form of stock, bond, or mutual fund, which is great as long as that fits your philosophy. But if the market's up and down and it's going to cause you to lose sleep and you got to get out of it, well, there's other options that may be available for you that he'll probably try and talk you out of. Why? Because he doesn't sell Ford cars.
So now
so what Ford chart would have worked for me there?
Well, there's other types of plans that have, like annuities. People think annuities are the worst thing. All of my annuity clients lost zero money when the market crashed. Zero. Because the principal's guaranteed, period. And then any growth that earned over these annual resets, that's locked in. So when the market crashes, it loses zero. You might not have made any money, but you didn't lose any money.
Now, two questions. One, Ken was going to, alluding to, now if you're elderly, what do you do? So if you're elderly like Ken, what do you do?
Well,
you color your hair.
Or young and vibrant like you, what do you do?
You get a little rubber ball and you throw it at the guy.
So now here, let me answer that question. So it's called dollar cost averaging. If you invest in the market for the last, however, beginning of retirement until beginning of work until ending, and the market goes up and the market goes down, the ups and downs do not matter. If the market goes up at the beginning of your retirement years, work years, and then goes down, or the complete opposite, it goes down first and then goes up, at the end of your 30 years, it'll be exactly the same. But if you enter into retirement and the market goes down and you need to pull out, you need to live on the money, if you lose money at the beginning of your retirement years, it will kill you at the end. You will absolutely run out of money. And that's what happened in 2008. When people's money, they started running out, when the market crashed and they had to pull out to pay their mortgage and pay their health care and live on the money, they don't have it to come back up later on. So the younger you are, don't worry about it. You should be invested as long as you can handle the ups and the downs.
So if you are, let's just take a 25-year-old getting into the market, should be in an aggressive plan?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
What about a 40-year-old?
Same.
What about a 50-year-old?
Start backing down because you're getting closer to retirement. As long as you have the ability to not open up that statement and not see the drop,
right.
Because my wife can't afford, she can't stand losing a dime.
Now,
That's the
And
same
she's
thing we
only
have now.
20, no, she's
That's the same thing we have with the market or with
She
house
looks
values.
20.
With market or house values, the same thing.
It's the same
If you're not
thing.
interested in doing anything today or tomorrow, and I
Right.
get that argument at times when people are panicking, I'm 50. I still got a long time left. I'm not too concerned about my house value or anything else because I'm in it for the long haul. I'm
Right.
not looking to pull out my money
So now
today or tomorrow.
you're 65, and now you don't have a pension because people don't have pensions anymore. So you have a 30% drop in the market, and you need to pull out $2,000 a month to live on. That double whammy will kill you later on if you pull out when it's down. So you need to have cash to ride it back, or a separate.
Yeah,
I
see,
like
didn't-
using buckets.
I didn't need to pull out of the market.
You have
I
a
was just-
different
preserving.
I was just worried that we, and I'm still worried,
Because
that we are going into, we still don't know the end of COVID.
No.
If we get into the fall and the economy has
Yeah.
to close down and everything else, we are going to see a decline worse than the last
And what
time.
should you do? Buy.
If,
At
you're gonna,
that
if you can
On
afford
the
it, that's
premise
a
that
premise.
we'll get over it and things will return to normal.
And if you can't handle the ups and downs, you should look at indexed annuities.
well, I'm ready to buy now because I'm sitting there with all this cash.
But you got to
Well,
be
that's
careful
not-
about the people that can't afford though to buy.
Well, see, that's the thing. You can, if when the market, so the market went back up, and what did everybody do? Say, oh, ooh, we beat that one. Or so now the market's up. Should you get out now? You should get out when
I
it's
would've,
high,
yeah.
not when it's low.
So these indexed annuities, is there an age restriction, or is it ability to pull the money out if you wanted it? Like,
Well, so there's a lot of pros and cons and all that type of stuff. So the 80 is usually about the cap on the high side on the age. The younger people, like I have a bunch of them, and I love them because I can't stand losing money. But I also have money in stocks, in mutual funds, and money in the bank, and I got a real diversified portfolio.
All right, so we're coming up to a break. I want to ask one more question on the indexed annuity in terms of when it's right for who, and we'll do that right after the break.
Right.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem. Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to sign up for the monthly contest. Every month we give a $100 Visa gift card, Law and Reality hat, and a copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Just go to the website, lawandreality.com, pop your name in to enter and your email address, and you're entered into the contest. We have a webinar coming up Wednesday, July 22nd, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., Debt Relief, Your Path Forward. We're going to go through all the ways that we address resolving debt so that you preserve your future income for you and your family rather than allowing that money to keep paying your creditors. We'll do a segment for the small business facing debt and closure issues. Jeff Linden will do a special segment on tax problems. You want to learn all your available options. That's the key to resolving debt issues. Solutions using bankruptcy, solutions outside of bankruptcy. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Also remember, you can always come into the office for a free consultation. Now with social distancing in place, we have office conferences available, also doing teleconferencing and web conferencing. Whatever is your comfort zone, we're available to do it that way for you. Just call the office at 888-235-HELP or go online and sign up for a free consult. Debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law and financial planning issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner, criminal issues with Scott Weinberg. Take advantage of the free consultation. Sign up at lawandreality.com or call 888-235-HELP. Also, go online and take advantage of the free reports. A brand new report, Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by myself and Jeff Linden. How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formation, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit, and the Retiree's Guide for Social Security from Pat Simasko. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Simasko Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
COVID-19 presents a fight for our personal and business financial survival. You have to make choices. Cash is critical. Do you tap your retirement, home equity line, or run up the credit cards? You need the right plan to avoid being wiped out, and you need it now. You can't rely on the government or banks. Call us. We're the experts in financial crisis. We are here for you and your business in the Great Recession, and we're here for you now. We will create a plan and get through this together. THAV GROSS will solve your problem.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
All right, so Pat, everybody sees the Ken Fisher commercials because he has an unlimited marketing budget.
Right.
And his lead-in is always anti-annuity.
Right.
What do you...
Well, it's real simple. What kind of car does he drive?
Oh, we're back to the car again.
He's probably driving a Maserati.
All right, so if I ask 50 Maserati dealers, how many times would they talk about a Porsche?
None.
And if I went to him and said, I want to buy this Porsche, what are they going to say?
You don't want a Porsche.
Why?
You want
It's
a Maserati.
horrible. I want a Maserati.
It's expensive, but it's got a
it's
very
horrible.
hard, it's a hard chassis.
You don't
it's
want
a bumpy
that.
ride.
You
want a
that.
smooth
want
ride.
that. Yeah. So all it is you have to look
marketing.
at the... If I go to a bank, they're going to tell me to buy something that the bank sells. And this is the thing. If you're doing something that you're not allowed to do, they're called captive agents. So if I go to Merrill Lynch and I'm going to buy something that Merrill Lynch doesn't offer, it's called selling away, right? I can't go to a Ford dealer and buy a GM. I could get fired for that. So you have to wonder, who does the fiduciary duty lie to? The client or the boss that's paying the bills?
So you have to look at the product that they're selling to get it.
So that's for me, it's interesting because I just asked to do a TV show for Nationwide Insurance Company that talked all about stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, and annuities, and long-term care. And it's just like you guys with the bankruptcy or the negotiated debt, right? It's whatever fits the client. So I have a fiduciary duty to the client as a lawyer first. It has to carry over to the client as a financial advisor. It has to be lawyer first, then financial advisor. So if I ask the client, how much money can you afford to lose?
Nothing.
And they say, I can't afford, I don't want to lose any, I can't afford to lose any, how can I recommend a stock or mutual fund that goes up and down in value? You just can't do it. So you have to fit what the client wants, and it's based on their risk tolerance level. If mom is going to lose sleep because the market went down $1, you can't put her in a market-driven plan, right? Does it make sense? So
you got to make it fit, because your expression. What's your line always? You got to fit the what to the what.
The problem is individual to the individual. The solution is individual to the individual.
There you go.
We got 2 minutes left, and this is a topic for greater time, but I want to throw it out there because I just turned 66.
Yes.
Do I take my full retirement Social Security, or do I wait till 70?
Easiest answer in the world. How long are you going to live for? No. How long is your wife going to live for?
Well, her parents are both in their mid-90s, so she's probably going to make it to 100. And
So-
I'm planning on making it to at least 93.
So if you look at the actual, for the Social Security, they don't care when you die. They know everybody's going to die at age 82, whether you're a man or woman. It's called,
The mortality table.
yeah, the mortality.
Right.
Sorry.
It's called
That's why-
dying.
It's,
Well,
that's right.
yeah.
So whether you take it at 62 or you take it at 70, it's break even at age basically 81, 82. Every year you live after, it's a windfall to wait.
So wait.
So if you're going to live to 100, it's probably a $300,000 difference in lifetime benefits by waiting till age 70.
See,
and it's not your age.
Somebody said it's an 8% return by
Every
locked
year.
in, like, so
Yeah.
if I
It's-
think I
it's
can beat
capped.
8% every year for the rest of my
No,
life,
it's
then I
capped.
take the money and invest it?
Well, that's one of your.
And how am I going to beat 8% when I'm
Well,
a
you know,
chicken and I'm
see,
putting it on
that's-
the
Capped
market?
at age 70 though?
Yeah, it's
8%
70.
is capped at age 70 though.
Yeah.
Once you hit age 70, you don't keep
You
getting
have
the
to
8%
take- well, you
increase.
No,
have
I've
to
locked
take-
in the 8%.
You have to
Right.
take it at age 70 no
Right.
matter what.
Yeah.
So it's an 8%
So
increase
for the
each
4
year.
years.
Right.
For the 4
Well,
years.
no, from age 62, it's an 8% decrease for every year you take it. It's an 8% increase after your full
Depending on
retirement
either
age.
66 in 2
Right.
months, or it's gradually
right.
going up to age 70
Yeah.
eventually.
So
What's your prediction for the market for the next 60 days?
I'm absolutely positively sure I have absolutely no idea. And anyone
And that's
that
the
thinks
honest
that they
answer.
do, I have a crystal ball on my table.
Super duper foggy.
Even when you look at the crystal ball, it goes and it swirls around and it comes back with the conclusion, like the 8-ball, that says, I have absolutely no idea.
It gives you this look.
It's funny because as a lawyer, I pride myself as being always 100% right in my answers because I have the ability to say, I don't know. And that's, clients are
And
happy
at
to
that
hear that.
point, Pat, thanks for the great information. Jeff, good to see you.
Okay.
Brian, we will be back next week with Law and Reality.